Hey guys, this is Shaft. Welcome to another Clan Casting Crew production. We've got an exciting Zerg vs. Terran for you guys today. Here on the top right hand side of Frost Ladder Edition. In the blue trunks, it's our resident Zergy McFerguson, RebOrn, representing Clarity Gaming. And here on the other side of that map, we have our red Terran buddy playing for awesome teams in the past, like it's Gosu, Fortnite. I believe he was on StarCraft 2 Strategy.com's A team. Now representing Team Evil Geniuses, it's our red trunk Terran buddy, Xenocider. This kid's like 16 years old and a god on the keyboard. He is amazing. He favors like kind of macro-based Terrans, like innovation, flash, stuff like that, rather than, you know, your bombers, your bit-by-bit primes, your, those kinds of players. And our Zerg, he loves Zerg vs. Terran as well. He sees it more as a series of small skirmishes, at least against bio play, rather than, you know, one great big battle that decides it all, and even, you know, against mech to some degree. So RebOrn, one of his favorite matchups according to him, on a post he made on Team Liquid. So I'm excited to see, you know, what kind of nuanced cards he's got in his deck right now. Both players seem to be going for a bit of a greedy style. We've got a command center first right now out of Xenocider, which is very greedy, but for a 4-player map makes sense. Excuse me guys, I've got the hiccups. But for a 4-player map, you know, that makes sense. It's harder for a rush to find your opponent, and the rush distances are longer, so going for something like this really does make sense. And RebOrn, you know, not going for that immediate 17 gas, he's delaying that a little bit. We'll see how long he delays that for, but this also greedy, allowing you to sneak in a couple extra drones. My big concern with a CC first, though, is it delays the Hellions. It delays any kind of defense that you would need against a Roach Baneling timing attack, and RebOrn is the type of player that you really just can't trust to do any particular style. He could do just about anything. So Xenocider, you know, this could be risky in his decision making, but we'll find out. Now we do have that extractor now about to finish for RebOrn, so not choosing to delay that gas for too long. So it looks like he built that around 4 minutes. And bunker now finishing up here for Xenocider, so he knows to be super safe as well. So yeah, just a normal standard Terran versus Zerg setup period. We got the factory finishing up now. Looks like the barracks is going to land. Does it start a tech lab? Nope, it's a reactor. No surprise there. Second gas now finishing up for Xenocider. This looks like it could be mech. Mech loves that early second gas as well. You know, they like that really fast orbital command. So that may be what we're seeing here. We'll look for the second factory to be sure. This Overlord coming down south to get in position. Does he know? Yeah, he knows where the Terran is now, but just hasn't recorrected that path. Alright, 2 queens on the way. We've got a very fast lair right now out of RebOrn, who's going for like a 3-queen defense. Always a good choice. 4 queens, that's a little bit overkill in today's meta. At least at this point, you know, around 7.5 minutes it might come in handy. Now we do have a second and third extractor on the way. This is looking like, you know, a standard muta build. The only thing is the layer is a little too quick. Usually around 6 minutes you'll be getting a third base, but instead, no, he's really going for these fast gases. There's the 4th gas. Wow, he's going to be hitting like 8-9 minute mutalisks with this build. And that's a huge hole in Xenocider's play, actually. Look, this guy is going for a starport. He's going for factory, but, and here's the second factory, so this is definitely mech. So there's not going to be any anti-air short of Vikings or Thors. So it's going to be a while for the mutalisks. There's not a third factory yet, so Thors are going to be even later getting pumped out. We've got Blue Flame being researched, not Thors, nothing like that. There's basically going to be no anti-air is what I'm trying to say here for Xenocider. RebOrn's just hitting a timing attack with these mutalisks where he thinks his opponent is going to be completely exposed. He has no idea this is mech, but in either situation, even against bio, this would be hitting before the barracks like, there's like 3 or 4 barracks that are built around like 8.5, 9 minutes, just a huge marine swell where you've already got Stimpack started, got medevacs in production, awesome stuff like that. And this would have hit before that too. Now we've got Hellions poking in here. This is quite a big number of Hellions, but 2 more on the way, pre-igniter on the way. So this is going to be a huge Hellion push. He's probably going to try and use the medevac to hop up in there, do all kind of shenanigans, and in fact he may actually be able to roast some of these. I'm excited to find out. There's a Spore Crawler on the way. I think he's a little bit scared of the possibility that Banshees could be part of this. Has he seen the Starport? No. So he's actually playing blind, so it's a good choice to go ahead and make that in case there is any kind of cloaking going on. But we do have 7 Mutalisks just about to finish. So as far as anti-air, he only needs those pretty much. The Spore Crawler will do a nice job protecting it. Mutalisks can kill it. And the Mutalisks are revealed when he chooses to target down that Viking. So Mutalisks reveal, so he pokes right on in with the Hellions. He knows his window is closing as a huge number of Mutalisks would rape those Hellions. Some Hellions are getting in. Pre-igniter is done. He's killing off the Queen first, and these drones are taking heavy losses. Wow, 15 workers killed so far. Looks like the Mutalisks will go ahead and clean up those Hellions. Nice plays here by RebOrn. Xenocider really losing his army there. He's only got 3 Widow Mines and 2 Marines as defense, and the Mutalisks are swarming in. Missile turrets are sitting in the mineral line, but there's a lot of exposed infrastructure here. It looks like RebOrn's going to try and attack into this, but there's a Widow Mine, and it takes a Mutalisk down. Second Widow Mine shot going to go off. There goes another dead Mutalisks. They are exploding. Missile turrets going ahead, finishing up. There's only 6 Mutalisks left. But 2 more are coming in to reinforce. And he's trying to target down the supply depot and poke at the Viking as well. Viking getting some repairs actually on it though, so that's not the best situation for RebOrn. Xenocider is definitely going to deal with it. Xenocider actually targeting down this one Mutalisk. There it goes, exploding its guts everywhere. He had been targeting that for quite some time, so I know it feels good for him to take out that 100 gas. Now his third base completely not saturated for RebOrn. He has delayed this about 5 minutes now, so his economy is actually pretty painful, especially with those 19 workers lost. So at this point, I would say Xenocider actually a little bit ahead. Taking a look at the income tab, way ahead. Yet the infrastructure there is about equal for both players, so we'll see who can translate that into a better army. RebOrn on the way now. Looks like he knows this is going to be mech at the stage, so he's getting those upgrades. Roach, Hydra, Viper, definitely your better choice against mech. He's making a few small number of Mutalisks, but I think mostly he's going to transition to a ground army. Mutalisks just not the greatest against Thor, Widowmine, and with the Viking support, yeah. Looks like Xeno's a little bit too ready for those Mutos, but they've done their damage. They really gave RebOrn map control. They've taken the pressure off this third, and he may even be thinking, you know, about droning at this fourth. Now we've got Hellions coming into the natural again. This is yet another painful reminder of what happened earlier. 21 workers killed now, and now we've got workers in the main getting targeted down. This is a lot of workers killed. 26 workers. Those Hellions definitely worth the sacrifice. Alright, so we've got a third base now here for Xenocider. 5th and 6th gas, huge when it comes to mech play. Mech really needs gas to sustain itself. You'll always have a surplus of minerals, as you've noticed the last couple of minutes here for Xenocider. He spends all his gas before he can really spend the minerals. So, with that being his limiting factor, this 5th and 6th gas is huge. He'll want to park himself on these 3 bases until he can get a 200 death army. It's RebOrn's job to make sure that that can never happen. Hence, we see the Roaches and Mutalisks moving out. He's actually going to take out most of these SCVs. The Thor's a little bit out of position. Roach is trying to surround this tank, and actually doing so, even taking out a Widowmine there. Now targeting the Thor, so the Mutalisks will survive. Thor's trying to focus on Roaches rather than a Mutalist. But that doesn't really help. The Vikings targeting down the Mutalisks now, but the Vikings dying as well. Oh wow, the Widowmines are dying here. We've got The SCV's getting targeted here. This will be the end of this third. Looks like the Orbital Command may have a chance of getting away. There's not very many Mutalisks here. Mutalisks not the best thing against structures, but it will be an 11th hour save if that does end up happening. These 3 Mutalisks, go ahead, go attack the Orbital. Yeah, that Orbital's going to get away. What's going on over here? No saturation, no gas saturation. We have an infestation pit and some cool stuff going on here. We don't want to charge too deeply into this. Those choke points favor mech quite a bit, but the Roach is just hiding here at the edge. They wanted to get that siege tank, but not worth losing the whole army of Roaches. Now we've got some reinforcements arriving. Will he choose to poke back in there, or is he going to head back home? I love this creep thread here. This will delay the third. Basically, RebOrn wants to delay the third base of Xenocider for as long as possible. Every second that clicks by is one more point in RebOrn's court. If this were a game of points, he would be leading right now. And here we go. We have the gases just now being taken for RebOrn, and he's taking these gases as well. He's getting ready, it looks like, for some Ultralisks or some Broodlords. I'd favor the Broodlords a little bit more against mech. Tanks do really, really well against Ultras. The Herp-Derpalists just, they don't like the splash damage. No, they don't. Alright, so the Vikings just chasing these Mutalisks away. Hydra's on the way, 2-2 upgrades on the way, 15 Roaches on the way. RebOrn playing a strong macro game here at the 16.5-minute mark. But that's a lot of Vikings. It almost seems too good to be true. If he went for Broodlords, there's a lot of Vikings on the field. A couple of Thors. He could really use some more Thors. That would be ideal, because Thors are what ultimately hold the ground against Broodlords. You need siege tanks to deal with the actual Broodlings, but once the Broodlings are basically no contest, Thors can decimate Broodlords. It's like a war of the slow-moving titans. Alright, so we've got a drone going here to take a 5th base and 5 Hellbats ready to intercept it. Wow. Alright, and 2 Hellbats actually going to fly in here in a medevac. Medevac's going to fall. Mutalisks going to make short work of that. Vipers are revealed, but the Hellbats trying to get some kills here on the drones. Not going to happen. Little pokes like this never hurt. He only lost 2 Hellbats in a medevac, but potential devastation there is astounding. Still 5 Hellbats. Looks like they made short work of that hatchery. And yeah, we've got level 2 Terran vehicle and ship weapons. Awesome sauce. 3 command centers are on the way as well, guys. Hopefully these will be planetary fortresses. He's gonna need the extra ground defense with this Roach Hydra constant pressure. And 200 supply. RebOrn's just ready to trade. He doesn't care how cost effective the trade is. He just wants to trade. Less Terran stuff is a good thing for Zerg. And it looks like he's going to be able to get a command center out of this if he just turns around and targets that. Oh, tanks are out of position. Ooh, that hurt. That actually really sloppy Xenocider. It's okay though, we still go. Mr. Turret's going to be the first to fall, but losing these Vipers quite a bit. Nice blinding cloud's going to chase a lot of this mech army back into the reinforcements of the SCV lines. Unfortunately, SCV's not so good in battle, but tanks are pretty good. Roach Hydra going to come deal with biggies. But ultimately, there's not much here for Xenocider, and these SCVs are going to be pulled away. Doesn't look like these will be able to escape this time. Hydra looks much better against buildings than the Mutalisks counterparts. So, yeah, that Orbital Command falling fast. Those 2-2 upgrades, man, make a huge difference. Widow Mines. Scary, scary Widow Mines. Alright, so SCV is being picked up in a medevac and sent home. Awesome sauce. Thank you for the pickup, madam. Alright, so Roach Hydra are going to be coming in here. They really want to end this. However, they cannot come through this choke point. The close quarters will really favor the Terran over the Zerg. So he has to be, mindful of that. Well, we've got a little bit of a retreat right into the Widow Mine shots, but he's going to kite away from those Widow Mines. No problemo. Back onto the creep. Spread the creep. Spread the creep! Yeah, there we go. He's spreading the creep. It's like AIDS. It spreads everywhere. Alright guys, it's coming down to a very close battle. Corruptors are on the way. We've got a Greater Spire now. No Infestors, interestingly enough, but Roach Hydra, Viper, still enough to keep the Brood Lord safe. Feels? We'll find out. Does he want to keep the Corruptors, clear out the Viking count, or is he going to go straight into the Brood Lords? Look at these tendrils of creep. There's like 3 main dreadlocks of creep just inching their way towards Xenocider. Xenocider not had a moment to clear creep pretty much all game. He's been a little bit too focused on drones, and I think that's ultimately going to come and hurt him. He's actually 37 workers behind. The income tab, about 5 times greater mineral income for RebOrn. It has a lot to do with never being able to take this third. Finally able to take it. I mean, there's creep melting this third. So this is the only possible base right now. Yet, RebOrn has a base here, 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 and, you know, there's still one here. Ouch. Xenocider's in a rough spot, but he's a strong player. We'll see how he can manage. And you can see, you know, just over the course of this game, constant scrappy engagements, RebOrn definitely nails his matchup. Widowmine shots! And Medevac does get targeted off there. The Brood Lords are revealed, so we're going to have the Terran trying to get into a good position. He's got his tanks leapfrogged very well. They're not going to kill each other trying to take out Brood Lords, and it's going to be harder for the Roach Hydra to come in here. But he's going to leave the Corruptors, trying to get his Brood Lords in position, and he's buying time now with the Roach Hydra trying to take some of these shots from the Widow Mines. Now the Brood Lords coming in here. This is an awesome battle. RebOrn doing a great job. The Roach Hydra pushing back the tank. The tank's almost entirely eliminated, except for this one on the high ground. The Vikings getting pushed back as well. Looks like this is the final battle. Xenocider, losing his army, drops the GG. Wow. RebOrn using each and every individual skirmish as an opportunity to hop more and more ahead. Xenocider would have been just fine if he had ever established a third, but RebOrn was not only able to trim, you know, small advantages away from Xenocider to make himself better, he was also able to delay that third and ultimately just get into this huge death ball composition with Brood Lords, Roaches, Hydras, 2/2 upgrades, +1 flying attack. The Zerg works. Xenocider played a strong game, but there are key weaknesses to mech, and RebOrn knew every one of them. Guys, this is Shaft of the Clinic Casting crew. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share this with your friends. Hit +1 on YouTube. Hit the share button. Give it to your friends. Remember, every click counts. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thanks for being awesome. Bye-bye.
신앙 선수가 되는 거고요.
그렇죠.
멀티에 방해도 받지 않으면서 안전하게 해주고 있는 모습인데 맹독 측의 스피드업이 되기 전에 즉 전방 위에서만 싸워야 되고 전방만 좀 제거하고 마지막에